everybody, I'm Chef Rob. Today we're going to make some sausage, peppers, onions, and a little twist to it. And we're going to serve it in a crusty bread as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to heat up a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to put in up to about a 1/4 cup of it. Get it nice and hot. So in this dish we can use chicken sausage, turkey sausage, sweet sausage, hot Italian sausage, any one that you would like to use. Okay, so I'm using some sweet Italian sausage, and as soon as this oil gets hot, I'm just going to take about 1 pound of the sausage and put it into the pan. Get it nice and brown. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes, and we're going to brown both sides. And then we are going to cut up some peppers and onions for it. You're going to use about 2 onions. So while the oil is heating, I'm going to start prepping my vegetables. So I'm using the yellow onions, and I just want nice thin slices. And I'm just going to leave it right here on my cutting board. And if you really like your onions, peppers, if you added a little more, that would be fine to this. Okay. And the same with the sausage. If you want more sausage than onions and peppers, of course you can add more to it. Just make sure the sausage is cooked all the way through. So a total of 2 medium-sized yellow onions. So I have this all reserved. I'm just going to take the sausage, and the oil is nice and hot. So on a medium heat, you want to cook this till it gets nice and brown on both sides, and then make sure it's cooked all the way through. So I'm just going to start cutting the peppers. So you can use the red, the green, the yellow, the orange, anything you like. But you need about 2 whole peppers. So I'm going to use a red and a yellow one because it'll make the colors look really good and really stand out. And always take this white part out of the pepper. Okay. Now, one of the tricks that I have learned over the years, if you cut from this way instead of on the shiny side, if you have a dull knife or anything like this seems to cut a little easier. And I can actually just take that white right out just like that. Just kind of give it a nice trim. And I just want to keep this into nice thin strips. So I'm going to leave this on the side here. And now cut this one as well. Just always keep an eye on your sausage. That way you make sure that it's not getting too dark. You don't want to burn it. And I'm going to use my yellow pepper now. So about 2 medium-sized peppers. Green isn't always the favorite of everybody's, but some people really love it in peppers and onions. This one I'm trying to make a little bit sweeter, and that's why you'll notice I do add a little bit of Marsala wine to this. And I always take out the little seeds inside the peppers. And again, I'm going to cut these into thin strips. And just keep an eye on the sausage, that way it doesn't get away from you. And now just kind of give this a little twist and cut it. It makes it a little bit easier to eat when the pieces are a little bit smaller. Let me just kind of go back to the sausage. You can see it's getting nice coloring. So I'm just going to put this turned over. It's a nice color. Okay, so we're going to leave the peppers, the onions here. I'm going to take some garlic. Garlic, I'm going to use about 4 cloves. And I am just going to take them on their side. Take the knife, just kind of smash them just like this. And now just chop it really small. For something like this, when you're just using a little bit of garlic, you don't need a food processor. Just cut up just a little bit, but always use the fresh garlic is the best. I'm going to be using some diced tomatoes. Okay, that'll kind of be the broth along with the Marsala wine, which I'll show you right here. We're going to add about 1 cup to this dish, but that's going to be in a little bit. And then we also have some tomato paste as well. If you like a little bit of heat in this dish, just a pinch of the red pepper flakes in here will be really good. Okay? If you don't like heat, you can just leave them out. So that's really optional. And we have some beautiful fresh basil. The basil, to keep it really nice and fresh, just put it into a nice glass. Keep the stems down in it and treat it like you just got a nice bouquet of flowers. And then you get really nice pieces of leaves. Okay? So in a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to take this sausage and we're going to put it on the side, and then in the same oil, we're going to cook the peppers and the onions, and we're going to get them till they're nice and brown, nice and soft. Okay? I'm going to show everybody, when you're serving this, you can do like a sausage and pepper like type hero, or you could take a nice big crusty bread just like this, and just kind of cut the top off, scoop out the bread inside, and just load this up with the peppers and the onions and the sausage. So it's really good. So different ways that you could serve this. This dish over some pasta would be really good as well. So I am just going to take this sausage out. I'm just going to put it on the side for right now. While the oil is still nice and hot, I am going to take my onions and peppers, and then about a teaspoon of kosher salt. What that'll do is it will make them sweat. It'll make them cook quicker. So I'm just going to add these in there. The oil is really hot. And now about a teaspoon of the kosher salt. And then with a wooden spoon, you're just going to kind of mix this around really good for about 5 minutes till it's nice and golden brown. Then we're going to add our spices to it. So let's just give this a little stir. The bottom of the onions and the peppers, you can see, starting to get a little brown. Still need a couple minutes. So we'll just let them cook. And then we're going to add in our dried oregano, some fresh basil, and chopped garlic. So our peppers and onions are beautifully colored. See how the yellow and the red just go really nicely together? I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon of dried oregano. I'm going to put in the chopped 4 cloves of garlic. Put that right in there. Make sure when you put the garlic in, you start kind of getting it all coated into the mixture, because you don't want it to really hit the bottom of the pan, because that's when you could char a few pieces of garlic and then really throw that flavor off. And we're going to put in about a half a cup of the fresh basil. Okay, so you just want to kind of take all these leaves off and just kind of pluck them off, and do about a half a cup's worth. And then we'll add in our tomatoes. So let's just take the basil, give it a really good chop. It's about a half of a cup. And then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Always put in the fresh basil for this. This will give it a really nice flavor. Look at the coloring of that. So now, 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. If you have this left over and you don't have it in the little squeeze tube, just kind of put this in a Ziploc and put it in the freezer until you're ready to use it again. Okay. Just going to kind of stir this around really well. I'm going to add in the 1 cup of the Marsala wine. This will kind of sweeten it up just a little bit. Make sure you stir from the bottom, that you get any of those little brown bits that may come to the bottom, because you do want all that flavor and you don't want anything to stick to the pan. Take that tomato paste and really mix that around really well. And then we are going to add in 1 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. This will kind of loosen it up, give it a little more brothy texture, put some nice chunks of tomatoes as well. Again, just get the bottom, make sure everything's mixed really well. We're going to simmer this for about 20 minutes, let it reduce down just a little. And we're going to put in our sausage. You can cut this into small little chunks, into large chunks. So if it's just for a nice dinner, maybe 6 chunks from the 1 pound you could do, or cut it into thin slices and have it go throughout if you're doing it over pasta. Okay, so we're going to simmer this right now. And I'm just going to cut up the sausage. Just going to cut it into thin pieces. So a little underdone, so this way it is still going to finish cooking in the sauce. And will throw off a lot of flavor. Like that. And if you do like a little bit of heat, remember you could always take a little bit of the red pepper flakes, 1/4 teaspoon at the most. So let's let this simmer for 20 minutes. The sauce will get nice and thick, and then it'll be ready to serve. It's looking good already. So our sausage and peppers have cooked for about 20 minutes. They have reduced down so all that flavor is there. And now, time to show you how to serve this to your friends or your family. Okay, I have this beautiful bread bowl here that we're going to turn it into. I'm just going to take the top off. Be careful as you are doing this. So we're just going to take this lid off. This is something that can be shared by the family like this. And then you can just kind of rip out this bread just like this, but we're not throwing it out. We can dry it out, we can make breadcrumbs. We can actually take these and toast these into the oven just like this, and we can kind of dip it right in with the sausage, peppers, and onions. So make sure you get it all around. Make sure it's a nice, fresh, crusty bread. Make sure you don't leave any holes in here because you don't want it to kind of leak out. Okay, so let's put this on our platter, just like this. And now we're going to take some of the mixture, just ladle it right in here. And you really, surprisingly, can get a lot into here. There we go. Perfect. And now, just to kind of garnish the plate, what I'm going to do is just put some fresh basil leaves around the outside here. You could put little tomato slices, some peppers. And I'm going to take this crusty bread, I'm going to put it into the oven, and I'm just going to put it around the platter just like that. Get it kind of nice and crisp. And then it will be great just to dip it right into. And here's our lid that we can leave right at the side just like that. So how does that look, everybody? I hope you'll make this. I hope you enjoyed this class. Always thank you for watching me, and stay well. Bye-bye.